So our next teller is very dear to my heart. He is Archie Jamjun. He is all the way here from Chicago.
I've been a server for over 20 years. I'm in danger of becoming what we in the industry call a lifer, but I am definitely what my mother calls me, a food prostitute. And in some ways that is very accurate because when you're a server, you're constantly wondering, am I too old to do this? And I think only sex workers and athletes ponder that question as much. Sometimes when I'm tying the strings to my server apron, I think about a quote from now canceled author Sherman Alexie. The world is divided by two tribes, the people who are assholes and the people who are not. Now, most people I meet are absolutely lovely, but over my years of serving, I've had to learn how to deal with a room of hungry assholes. I smile and laugh a lot, often with the sincerity of blinking. I try to come off as an assertive, tough man, but also someone who will cry if you yell at me. In my server book, I keep a sticker, and it says, "You are beautiful." And I read it over and over and over again when I'm talking to people who are clearly not beautiful, at least on the inside. But every job has those moments. Every job makes you deal with assholes. I am very good at coddling the hangry people. I am very patient with people who think that menus are just a blueprint for their own creativity. And I realize that most people don't understand the infuriating irony of going to a restaurant and then turning to your server and saying, "I already ate." Then why are you here? But it isn't always that easy. Summer 2016, it was a lunch rush. I walked up to a two-top, and one of the ladies, she had very red hair, she looked up at me and said, "You know, you are very tall for a Chinese person." Oh, thank you. I am, not even Chinese, though. Yes, but admit it, you are tall for a Chinese person. I love this story because she is so wrong, but she is just a little bit right. At 5'8", I am 2 inches taller than the average Chinese man. I Googled this. And I do tower over my family. But my family is from Thailand, which is not the same as China, which is not the same as Asia. Facts that might have blown this woman's mind. But I kind of knew that she didn't really mean any harm. She might have even been trying to compliment me. And to be honest, I do not always have the time to be the center for the understandments of Asian peoples. So, if I can, I would much rather laugh at you than get mad at you. It isn't always that easy. Spring 2019, dinner. There is cheese on my burger and I am lactose intolerant. He was a silver fox at his six-top with 5 other of his business friends. "Oh my God, sir, I'm so sorry. I can get you another burger in just a few minutes." I don't care if you're sorry. I don't care if you crawl across this floor and beg me my forgiveness. You people never understand what I'm saying. You people have ruined everything. His tie was loose, and I wondered what a nice noose it might make. For the record, you people is a term you should check your skin color and surroundings before using. Now, I admit, I messed up this man's order. When he said no cheese, I heard cheddar please. Because when you're a 50-year-old businessman who orders a $15 hamburger instead of a $60 steak like your friends and your boss is paying, we just don't speak the same language, sir. What I cannot admit to knowing, however, is what everything us brown people have ruined. To be honest, I don't even know what he meant by you people. I mean, have that many Asian people really tried to feed him cheese? Or was it my gay fabulousness that he was referring to? Maybe he just meant servers. But here's the thing. When they people call us you people, we people only have 2 seconds to decide whether you're a regular asshole or a racist asshole. Whether I am overreacting or if I need to show you that, sir, while I do not know Kung Fu, my mother sure did teach me how to get crazy. Fight or flight. These are the moments when you want to prove your dignity. I wanted to take that hamburger patty and smash it into his pasty white face. But because my paychecks are cute, and no man will ever stand between me and a sale at TJ Maxx, I chose flight. I went to the kitchen, started a new hamburger, and then had my manager walk it out to him so I didn't have to talk to him anymore. It wasn't quite as satisfying as smashing ground beef into his face, but every job makes you swallow your pride every now and again. As the evening went on, I told my coworkers what happened, and we did what we always do to horrible people. We walk by your tables and fart. It is called crop dusting. It is very aggressive. But you know what would have been better? What would have been better is if the people at the table at the time, the people who would hand me a fat tip later and say, I'm sorry, could have done something while it was happening. Maybe one of them could have said, hey, Chad, why don't we calm down? We're only talking about a hamburger. Or maybe something less aggressive, like tapping him on the knee, looking him in the eye, and saying, bad white person, you're being a bad white person. See, on the rare occasion that someone has done something like scream, you people at me, it does feel like a fight or flight moment. And when no one else seems to notice what's going on, it makes it much harder to fight. I hate Spanish people. I'm sorry, Oga. I hate Spanish people. Not people who speak Spanish, but people from Spain. They are so, as they would say in their accent, dismissive of people who work in hospitality. The best way I can explain it, it's kind of like they're really proud that they're related to Christopher Columbus and they want you to know that, but what they don't know is that nobody's proud of Christopher Columbus anymore. And when you're a server, these stereotypes, these patterns get assigned to certain people all the time in your head because you're doing it over and over again. I mean, like Chinese people, I'm like, okay, you guys are gonna eat quick, you're gonna share everything, and somebody's gonna ask me for hot water at some point. Indian people, I'm like, okay, 5 of you are gonna share 2 entrees, and you're gonna ask me if the steak can be made vegetarian. Black people, you guys, I am much too smart to start something that I cannot finish. And all this whole time in the back of my head, I'm wondering, are these people even going to tip me? But I have to go on with my job. I have to be nice to people, and I am nice to people because there's always that hope that they are gonna tip me, and 90% of the time, they do tip me. And besides, the reason I am a server for over 20 years is because I do enjoy being nice and kind to people. It is actually very rewarding. But like I said, these stereotypes and these patterns develop in your brain, but I know I have to do better because my soul, that thing that tells me what I want to be in the world, tells me to be better. There's this joke we have at work that we tell each other all the time. It's, I'm only racist at work. And like, it's an inside joke that doesn't quite make it into the outside world, but trust me, when you get a $5 tip on a $200 bill, you need a little bit of humor to get through your life. I don't actually think the world is divided between the people who are assholes and the people who are not. I readily admit there are a lot of people who seem to never stop wanting to be an asshole, but I think it's up to us to divide our time on life into being an asshole or into being something better. When the assholery of the world, or the assholery of myself, starts to be too much, I like to think about why God made assholes. Because when times fail, it's best to focus on function. See, assholes are these tight holes, just filled with poo-poo. But even though they are capable of much more, they only really need to do two things: relax and let shit go. Thank you so much, everyone.
Oh, isn't he darling? Okay.